The Tigers finally play a CAA game at home, and the outcome was great. The Tiger Lacrosse Report starts now.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Wise Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome, fans, to another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen. And, Coach, the Tigers took on Drexel this past Friday night. Supposed to be Saturday, but moved to Friday night. Both teams, I don't want to say desperate, but really needed a victory because both had lost their openers in conference play. And when the game started, it looked like you guys were ready to roll. Jump out to a 3-0 lead, but Drexel came roaring right back to make it 3-3 before you guys finally started to extend things a little bit. You had to be pleased with the way your team jumped out, but maybe not so happy about how the next 4 or 5 minutes went.
Yeah, I thought we came out, out of the game ready to play. We were aggressive. Although we weren't, winning faceoffs outright, their faceoff guy, I thought, really put us against the wall. But we were able to neutralize that with running zone against them early, being able to get them to think a little bit more and not get comfortable maybe in their normal sets. We made some stops, got it down to the offensive end, and scoring goals early, definitely gets the offense, I think dialed in that much more excited. It's always good to put that on an opposing team's goalie as well. But again, they're a good team. It was a battle all the way up until, early into the fourth quarter when we were able to extend. But, we get that 3-0 lead. Marshall King is terrific and showed that, and came out and, dialed it up and got those 3 goals, to tie it up and battle until we got it to halftime, but we were able to extend it.
And then in the second half, Drexel actually outscores you in the third quarter, 2-1, but you guys with 8 goals in the fourth quarter to go on to a 17-9 win. It's crazy. How can you score 3 goals the week before and then come up your worst output of the year and then come up with your best output of the year the following week?
Not quite sure what the answer is to that. But I do. I have an idea. Obviously, the week before we weren't in sync. We weren't communicating well. We didn't understand fully and execute fully what we needed to do offensively by moving the ball and sharing it and recognizing what the defense was doing. I thought the game plan that Coach G had dialed in, and Coach Kachi on the defensive end, but Coach G had dialed in for the offense, I thought that was spot on, and our guys executed it very well. We were able to generate good opportunities. We put those shots on cage. We challenged the goalie, and we ended up scoring some goals. I think we got to them. Made them work for it. We were changing up some location on shots and made them work for it that way. Different guys were shooting from different spots. And again, you can't score unless you put a shot on cage, and that was, I think, the biggest thing. We were moving the ball, generating shots, and getting the shots on cage.
Well, all 6 of your 3 starting attackmen and 3 starting midfielders all scored. Johnny Jafrida with a career-high 5 goals in the game. And then you get hat tricks from Brendan Sunday and Matt Severo. I know Hunter Lochte on the radio since day one has been saying that he loves Matt Severo, I think because he reminds him of Hunter. But
No, Hunter has a misperception of himself.
But you're getting goals from these young guys that are coming on now.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of a team, beauty of our team. Those guys, some of those guys that are running at midfield or at attack right now, they were on the scout team early in the year, and they work hard. Everybody thinks it's just your starters and then those top 20, 22 guys, but we coach all of our guys just as hard, whether they're working with the first offense or defense or with the scout team. We expect them to operate at a high level and make themselves better for obviously opportunities when they present themselves. So being able to see Matt, one, be healthy because he's had the injury bug the past few years, and be able to get his hands free and shoot well on cage is obviously been rewarding for him and for us, and other guys are starting to feel that confidence and then step into lineup.
Then on the other hand, you look at defensively, Shane Brennan continuing to be solid in the goal. Your defense has started to play better as the year's gone on. Your numbers go down. What you're giving up average-wise has gone down every week since the beginning of the season. So that's got to please you that as the season's going on, the defense is also improving.
Yeah, I think it's obviously something that we expected coming into the year. Very inexperienced team from front to back. Defensively, probably a little bit less so. So our struggles early on were a little bit frustrating, but they're settling in, understanding what we expect and how to work well together. So we kind of have an idea of who needs to be where defensively and what we need to do, I think, to be successful, and we got to keep doing that. Kobe Smith, Drexel gets it to 9-8, and Kobe Smith gets that ground ball off the wing, comes down and scores to get it back to 10-8, get that 2-goal cushion. I mean, that's a kid who's got a lot of confidence, playing really well as a freshman, and he's been a big piece to our defense.
So the Tigers get the 1-1 in the CAA and a huge matchup coming up this Saturday against the Minutemen of the University of Massachusetts. Tune in later this week when Coach Nadelen and I talk about that matchup. So for the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen, I'm Spiro Morekas. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. And as always, go Tigers.